Questions now surround the City of Jasper's tax abatement program. What companies say their problems are, plus the new bike share program is off and riding in the city of Huntingburg, and Mike Steffi talks Tri-County YMCA tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. More on tax abatements shortly, but we begin with a Crawford County man who was airlifted to a Louisville hospital after his truck ran off of the road and into a house near Birdseye. At around 3:15 yesterday afternoon, DuBois County Sheriff's deputies say 19-year-old Stephen Lang of Eckerty had been going southbound on County Road 1025 East, just north of Schnellville Road at a high rate of speed when he went off of the roadway to the left. Lang's pickup truck went through a yard and a field before hitting a house owned by Tina Madden in the 10,000 block of East Schnellville Road at the intersection with County Road 1025 East. Lang was conscious and alert when emergency crews arrived, according to police. He was taken by ambulance to Birdseye Town Park, where he was airlifted to the University of Louisville Hospital for treatment. Authorities say the extent and severity of Lang's injuries are not known, though they say he might have suffered a head injury. Deputies say 2 people were in the home at the time of the accident, but neither of them were hurt. Meanwhile, the Sheriff's Department says alcohol may have been a factor in this crash. The crash is still being investigated, and deputies say that Lang's truck was totaled. Concerns are being raised about the City of Jasper's tax abatement program in light of some companies struggling to fill jobs that they promised to fill. Last night, the Jasper City Council found Stens Corporation to be not compliant with the terms they set out in their abatement. The council learned that Stens originally promised to hire 98 employees when they filed for abatement, but they've only hired 28 to date. No representatives of Stens attended last night's meeting to answer questions from the council. The Stens abatement was originally reviewed during April's council meeting and at that point was tabled. Now, last night the council also reviewed abatements granted to Jasper Chair Company, Cash Wagner & Associates, Three People's Properties, Meyer Distributing, and Brown Family Properties. All of those were found to be in compliance, though the council did hold a brief discussion about issues these and other companies have had with filling out the city's paperwork for the program, which has led to discrepancies resulting in other reviews being tabled at council meetings. Now, some company representatives on hand last night addressed different problems they've had with not only finding people to hire, but keeping employees over the long run. Meyer Distributing Controller Greg Hoaksong spoke to the council last night. He stated this issue is making it that much more difficult to make the necessary hires.
We've hired a lot of people, but the turnover is very high. So to achieve the level that we did, we probably had to hire 3 or 4 times that amount to retain that level. And I don't know, I haven't seen that really improve. It's just tough to get people that want to stick around at certain positions.
Meanwhile, Mayor Terry Seitz says the city's paperwork is not an issue. However, he is concerned about the hiring and retention issue, and he says the state may need to make some changes to their tax abatement policies to assist the city.
The abatement, for the most part, in that level, follows the state code. So I've often been an advocate for, and maybe I need to be a louder advocate for through the state legislative process, that literally in Indiana, and with what we have here, that perhaps in some part of the abatement process, credit needs to be given, or a diminished abatement maybe needs to be provided for retention of jobs rather than have a company perhaps go out of business.
Seitz says the abatement program has done what it was designed to do. He says the paperwork is just something that companies will have to adapt to. Also last night, the council gave final approval to a water rate increase. Jasper water customers will see the 17% rate hike in their July bills. This marks the first water rate increase in Jasper since 2010. A Jasper attorney has announced her plans to run for city office. In a news release, Brittany Brockman says she will seek the District 4 seat on the Jasper City Council currently held by Tom Schmidt. Schmidt is retiring from the council after 40 years, so Brockman will be squaring off with Democrat Dave Hurst in November's general election. Brockman says Jasper must continue to preserve its sense of German pride while continuing to expand on new ideas that will attract the next generation. Brockman says she wants to encourage young people to return to Jasper to start their families and careers, and she believes her business law and estate planning background makes her the best candidate to do all of that. Brockman currently owns Brockman Law Firm, which she opened in July of last year along Main Street in downtown Jasper. She is a 2006 graduate of Jasper High School and earned her bachelor's degree in political science at Indiana University in 2009. She then earned her Doctor of Jurisprudence degree from IU's Robert H. McKinney School of Law in Indianapolis. Brockman joins a Republican field of Jasper Council candidates that already has Nancy Eckerly, Dean Vonderheide, John Bell, and Kevin Manley. Huntingburg's new bike share program is officially off and riding. This morning, city officials debuted the new program at Huntingburg City Park. 8 bicycles in all will be available to the public for riding anywhere in town or as far as they would like in the amount of time they rent the bike for. Now, this program came about last year as one of the DuBois County Leadership Academy's capstone projects. The idea was first presented to the city's park board this past fall. Mayor Denny Spinner says this bike share could not have been done without the help of the DCLA.
We're very honored that they came to the city of Huntingburg and said, this is where we think this first bike share should be. So the committee that from DuBois County Leadership is all here, and that's Debbie Ramirez, Melanie Jones, Sarah Thompson, and Chris James are the committee that came together to put this together.
Now, those interested in joining the new bike share program can do so by downloading the Zagster mobile app or by going to zagster.com/Huntingburg. Rentals will cost $3 an hour or $24 a day, up to 24 hours. Congratulations go out to a pair of local high school students honored with statewide scholarships. Jasper High School senior Trent Smith and Southridge High School senior Teresa Bowling were each presented with $500 scholarships from the Indiana Sheriff's Association's Scholarship Fund. Smith and Bowling are among 40 students statewide to be honored with ISA scholarships. Smith, the son of Bruce and Kim Smith, plans to attend VUJC and major in criminal justice. Meanwhile, Bowling, the daughter of Richard and Christine Bowling, will be attending the University of Southern Indiana, also pursuing a degree in criminal justice. Now, scholarship winners are chosen by the ISA's Scholarship Committee. To be eligible, a student must be an active affiliate or associate member of the Indiana Sheriff's Association or be the dependent child or grandchild of a current ISA member. Applicants also have to be Indiana residents, must be going to an Indiana college or university, major in a field related to law enforcement, and enroll as a full-time student, taking at least 12 credit hours. Indiana's health commissioner is set to testify before Congress about Indiana's largest HIV outbreak and the drug abuse that's behind the epidemic. State Health Commissioner Dr. Jerome Adams was set to testify this morning before the House Subcommittee on Oversight and Investigations. The hearing was focused on what states are doing to combat the national epidemic of prescription painkiller abuse. Health officials from Colorado, Massachusetts, and Missouri also were set to testify. Adams' office says he was discussing Indiana's HIV outbreak that's tied to needle sharing among intravenous drug users, most of whom injected a liquefied form of the painkiller Opana. Nearly all of Indiana's outbreak cases have occurred in Scott County, about 30 miles north of Louisville. State officials say 158 people have now tested positive for HIV since December in that outbreak. And finally tonight, a judge says the defense of a man accused of fatally beating an Indiana University student can hire a private investigator for $3,000. Public Defender Dory Marion had asked for $10,000 for the defense of 49-year-old Daniel Messel of Bloomington, but the judge granted only $3,000 Wednesday and says the defense can petition for more funds later on if need be. Brown County Prosecutor Ted Adams said he thought $10,000 was excessive. Messel was charged with murder in the death of 22-year-old Hannah Wilson. Her body was discovered April 24th near Lake Lemon, about 10 miles northwest of IU's Bloomington campus. A roommate reported Wilson missing that day. Messel appeared via a video link from the Brown County Jail. The next hearing in this case is set for July 22nd. All right, coming up after the break, rain chances remain in your early Memorial Day weekend forecast, and later on, more on what's going on at the Tri-County YMCA. We're back after this.